Imagine standing on the surface of a planet where the sky glows an eerie shade of purple, the wind smells faintly of rotten eggs, and the year lasts just a few days. This isn't science fiction. It's a glimpse into the strange and spectacular worlds revealed by exoplanet atmospheres. But why do scientists care so much about the air on planets we may never visit? The answer goes far beyond simple curiosity. Every atmosphere is like a fingerprint, unique and revealing, the real treasure map to understanding alien worlds. To explore this, let's start with a line from the ancient poet Lucretius. Nothing exists by itself alone, but everything in relation to other things. If we think about our universe with its billions of planets, Lucretius's words remind us that every planet is shaped not just by its own hidden world, but by the star it orbits, the company it keeps, and the shifting tides of gas and light that swirl all around it. Exoplanet atmospheres show us these relationships in real time, giving us a window into both the alien and the familiar. But how do we even know what faraway exoplanet atmospheres are made of? Imagine trying to smell a pie, baking in a distant bakery, with dozens of other ovens in the way. That's basically what astronomers do. When a distant planet passes in front of its star, a tiny slice of starlight passes through that planet's atmosphere. Each kind of molecule, hydrogen, methane, water vapor, absorbs light at specific colors. By splitting this light apart, planet hunters piece together what invisible gases drift in alien skies. Let's turn to a famous line from the Tao Te Ching. The usefulness of a cup is its emptiness. It's often the things we can't see that matter most. The gases in an atmosphere, though invisible, hold the clues to a planet's temperament. Too much carbon dioxide, and a world bakes under a runaway greenhouse. Too little, and it may freeze solid. The signature of water vapor might whisper of brief rainstorms or endless clouds, while thick hydrogen envelopes warn of uninhabitable gas giants. In the search for life, we often look to what's missing as much as what's present. Oxygen, for example, doesn't last long on its own. Here on Earth, it sticks around only because it's constantly made by plants and microbes. Finding oxygen elsewhere would be like glimpsing a burning candle in the dark, a sign that something, perhaps life, is tending to flame. So, what have scientists actually found by peering into exoplanet atmospheres? Consider the poetic wisdom of Rainer Maria Rilke. The only journey is the one within. The exoplanet journey is, at its heart, a voyage inward, not just toward the heart of strange worlds, but into the nature of possibility itself. For instance, the first exoplanet atmosphere detected belonged to a hot Jupiter, a massive planet orbiting perilously close to its star. Its sky boiled with sodium gas, hinting at scorching winds and daytime temperatures hotter than some stars. Not exactly a place for alien picnics. But diversity is the rule. There are super-Earths cloaked in clouds laced with hydrogen cyanide, and water worlds where the air may be thick with steam. Some exoplanets undergo dramatic weather. Scientists have modeled planets where molten glass rains from the upper atmosphere, blown sideways by winds 10 times faster than Earth's most violent hurricanes. Why do these wild weather patterns matter? Think of the words from Shakespeare's As You Like It. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Atmospheres are the stage settings for the drama of alien worlds. They control what can live, what can't, and what's possible. The cast of chemical characters and weather events script the fate of oceans, continents, even the possibility of life itself. Detecting life, though, isn't as simple as ticking off boxes on a cosmic checklist. Even here, poets and philosophers warn us not to leap to conclusions. Emily Dickinson puts it this way: "Tell all the truth, but tell it slant." We have to be careful about interpreting atmospheric clues. Methane on Earth comes from cows and microbes, but on another planet, it might just bubble up from volcanoes. The same goes for chemical biosignatures like oxygen, ozone, nitrous oxide. Each discovery is a thread in a much larger tapestry, and untangling it takes patience and humility. So, what can exoplanet atmospheres really teach us? First, they show that our solar system isn't the only way to make a world. Every time we find a planet shrouded in unfamiliar gases, or weather beyond imagining, we expand the boundaries of what's possible. In the words of the philosopher Heraclitus, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." Every planet is a new river, different, unpredictable, sometimes almost unrecognizable. By studying exoplanet skies, we come to better appreciate how special and how fragile our own atmosphere really is. Second, exoplanet atmospheres remind us that worlds can change swiftly and profoundly. Take Venus. Its air is crushingly thick and hot, now toxic to life. But evidence suggests it once had oceans and perhaps mild Earth-like conditions. Change is the only constant, Heraclitus might say. Even our own planet's atmosphere has shifted from a suffocating mix of hydrogen and helium to the oxygen-rich envelope we depend on today. And third, these alien skies force us to confront the big question: are we alone? If we do find an exoplanet atmosphere with a suspicious mix of gases, say oxygen and methane together, or something else we haven't even thought of, it would be an invitation to rethink everything we know about life and the cosmos. But this search is still young. Right now, astronomers are building telescopes so powerful they can sniff out traces of life from hundreds of trillions of miles away. The next decade may bring the first real evidence of alien biology, or show us just how rare and precious Earth may be. For a moment, let's borrow the words of Walt Whitman. "I am large, I contain multitudes." Every exoplanet, in a sense, contains multitudes. Layers of gas, cycles of weather, hints of past catastrophes and future possibilities. To study these atmospheres is to read the autobiography of a world, line by line, gas by gas. Sometimes what we find is familiar. Clouds, storms, blue skies by a different sun. Other times we're faced with landscapes that defy imagination and conditions that stretch the concept of planet to its limits. Let's pause for a moment and reflect with a passage from the Bhagavad Gita. "You have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions." Exploring exoplanet atmospheres is an act of curiosity and perseverance. The discoveries may come slowly, the answers may surprise or even disappoint us, but the journey itself expands our sense of what's out there. The very act of looking, of asking what's in these distant skies, informs our understanding of physics, chemistry, and even the nature of life. Whether or not we find direct evidence of living aliens, each cloudy world and stormy sky teaches us a little more about the universe's imagination. Someday soon, we might catch the faintest whiff of something extraordinary. Ozone and methane on the same world, or perhaps chemical signatures we can't even explain yet. That moment could mark a turning point, a hint that we're not the only story the cosmos has to tell. Until then, every exoplanet atmosphere is both a lesson and a mystery. The winds of alien worlds carry more than dust and clouds. They carry stories waiting to be read piece by piece as our tools and our minds grow ever sharper. Where do we go from here? The poet T.S. Eliot wrote, "We shall not cease from exploration. and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. As we collect data and gaze across light years, perhaps the greatest gift of studying exoplanet atmospheres will be that, after all our searching, the sky above our own heads looks a little more wondrous, a little more precious, and infinitely more mysterious. So next time you watch clouds drift across the blue, remember, it's just one version of what a sky can be. Out there, in worlds uncounted, other skies swirl, raging or tranquil, familiar or utterly alien. And in studying them, we might just unlock not only the secrets of other worlds, but the story of our own.